As a regular golfer, does the height of your tee really make that big of a difference on how far you're hitting it? There's some pretty big claims across various YouTube videos about this, so I thought as I'm getting ready for summer down under, I'd do some testing and figure it out for myself. Oh, and I did a thing. I'm down here at Beverley Park Golf Club to see the effect on the golf course, but I've also been into Sydney Golf Tech, smashed a load of RCT balls on their TrackMan device to capture that data. I'd encourage you all to go out there and test this for yourself rather than just listen to what's out there on things like YouTube. But as I've got a fairly standard, regular type of swing that a lot of you have been watching recently, I thought you might find it interesting nonetheless. I guess when it comes to tees these days, there's lots of different options. So you've got things like the tour tee, you've got castle tees, and the good old-fashioned wooden tee. Which one you use is completely up to you. I'd suggest testing a few of them. But for what I'm doing here in trying to work out the difference on the tee height, I've been measuring them at 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and 4 centimeters. So obviously out here testing, want to try the low, the medium, and the high to see what it's going to do. My expectation's always the low one obviously is going to come out lower, probably a bit more left to right, more of a runner. Ultimately you get up to the high one where you'd expecting it to be launching higher, going a bit further in the air. But that's the theory, and everyone's different swings, who knows? Let's find out. That was a pretty great example. So obviously I didn't hit the low tee particularly well, but you'll have still seen that it came out low, ran quite a bit, finished just here. The medium tee shot, I felt like I actually hit it pretty well. A good flight, would have been quite happy with that on a hole. That's finished here. And the highest teed up shot, hit it well. Nice high ball flight, split the fairway. That one's finished down here, furthest of the lot. I also found a study online, I think it was from My Golf Spy, but it was really interesting. It was looking at the importance of where you hit it across the face, comparing things like low left as opposed to high right. I'll pop those numbers up so you can see what the study showed, but it makes for really interesting reading, and the fact that you could have up to 36 yards difference in distance based on where you hit it on the club face also shows the importance of the swing, your technique, and maybe working with a golf pro. Back to me though, and I've used TrackMan. I've gone through and hit a lot of shots to get the averages. And when I'm using a tee that's 2 centimeters teed up, what I'm seeing is that I get a 0.6 degree angle of attack on the shot. My average peak height is 61 feet. Spin is at 2651. And the average carry on those shots that I was seeing was 226.8 yards, running out to a suggested total of 258.8 yards. So to be fair, what I thought would happen was that low left to right runner was what I was seeing, which is also backed up with what I've seen out here on the golf course. When it comes to the 3 centimeter tee, again, my averages, my angle of attack increased to 1.5 degrees, which is what you'd expect as you start to get the ball higher, I think. My peak height also increased, that got up to 93 feet. Spin jumped up quite a lot, that went to 3,253 RPM. And my carry went a bit further to 239.5 yards, running out to a total of 258.2 yards. So a little bit further than the lower tee, mostly in the carry. Finally, I went up to the 4 centimeter tee. And again, you're going to expect to launch this a little bit higher. You're going to expect for more carry. The numbers that I was seeing, my attack angle went up to 2.5 degrees. So again, it's increased a little bit more. Peak height went up to 95 feet. Spin was a bit lower than the mid-height tee, and you have to factor in again that I just swing it how I swing it. It is what it is. But the spin numbers were 289.3 RPM. I had the longest carry averaging 244.8 yards and the longest total distance at 265.2 yards. So definitely saw what I was expecting, that the higher the tee, the more you're going to launch it in the air, the more carry you're going to get. And that's what I saw when I was hitting it into the net, with the TrackMan using the simulator, also out here on the golf course. So these are just my results, and there's probably things for and against them. We all swing it differently, so I definitely encourage you to go out and test this for yourself. But ultimately, the interesting thing was the difference between hitting it off a 2 centimeter tee versus a 4 centimeter tee was 18 yards carry and 10 yards total distance. So that's the difference between hitting my next shot, my approach shot from here, versus all the way down here. I don't know about you, but that's pretty significant for me. As for this, the driver head cover that I've just made for myself, well, I did get a couple of spare ones. I've decided to give one away. So if you would like to get one of these, and it'll be a pretty unique thing to own, there's not many of them, go and make sure that you're on my email list, which is on my website. So the website address I'll put below. First thing on the homepage is a chance to sign up. I don't send very many emails, but it makes it easy for me to do giveaways. So anyone that's on that email list, 2 weeks from now, I'll do a random draw. I'll pull out a name, I'll get in touch with you. Feel free to say no if you don't want it, but if you do want it, I'll get one in the post to you. Also, let me know what you think about the whole tee height thing. Have you been using Castle tees? Have you got a preferred height? Have you got any thoughts on what I've done here today? Maybe even my creative streak. What do you think of this? Do you like it? Not like it? Love to know. Jump in the comments, and I hope to see you in another video soon.